can you discuss payback?
Well, yeah. Let's think about that.
Does the
In order to
moderator
calculate
here have
this,
any question?
in order to calculate that, what you want to do is take the cost of your system, and I think what people are asking when they're asking that question is, how does the cost of your photovoltaics compare to the cost of utility power? You know, in other words, if you know, when do you get the equivalent cost of utility power back from the photovoltaics? And that question is a little tricky to answer because, but here's how you do it. You say, okay, the life expectancy of the photovoltaics is whatever, 30 years or 35 years, and it's going to produce a certain number of kilowatt hours on average in that length of time. And then you can look at, well, if the cost of kilowatt hours is 12 cents, what is that in dollars? But you got to do one more thing. You have to consider the fact that the utility rate is going to increase. The utility rate has traditionally increased 3% per year, and you know it's going to go up. So you can actually plug that into your spreadsheet and do that. So depending on, and there's some other things to consider. But before you start those calculations, I want you to go out and try to ascertain what the real cost of energy is from the utility. Is it 12 cents kilowatt hour? Really? Is that the only cost? Or are there other things that you're paying on your taxes that you got to figure into that? I challenge you. See, people always want to know, well, what does solar electricity cost? Well, it's not so hard. You know, you can figure that out. But what does conventional energy cost? That's a lot harder to figure out. Of course, they want you know, they want it to be difficult. All right? So I leave it to you to plug it in.
Ed Feinberg in Westchester. I had a question about payback also, but it's a slightly different type. What is the energy payback? In other words, how much energy is used to make a solar photovoltaic device? And how long does it take to get that energy paid back?
Okay. That's a little easier to answer because it's known fairly well what energy it takes to make the module. And the National Renewable Energy Lab's actually done some of those calculations, and they're coming up with answers in the range of 2 years. You know, it depends on what you assume again, but it's not a hugely long time. You know, people used to think, well, it takes 20 years to recoup the energy that you put into it, but that's not true. It only takes a couple of years.